and welcome, my soul tribe. Thank you so much for joining me today. We are going to do a general message, okay? Remember that these are collective, so receive only what aligns, release what does not align. Never give your power away to a reading or an outcome, right? Remember that you are a conscious creator and your timeline shifts and changes with your free will. So what I'm sensing here is what's showing up for us at this time is we might have been in kind of moving through some shadow work, moving through clearing illusions, identifying what it was that was holding us back or sabotaging us, right? You may have felt like you were in a cocoon for a little while. And it's like you are so close to a timeline shift. You are so close to a quantum leap. You are so close, okay? So keep in mind that sometimes the closer that we get to that change, that positive change that we're creating is, again, we might have some sabotaging patterns that come in, or there might be certain energies that show up. So I think this message here today is saying don't give up, because there are some really beautiful outcomes here and shifts and changes. So as we know that if we want to see change in the world, or we want to see change in our lives, we first must shift internally. And so for those of you tuning in, many of you, that's what you have been focusing on, is that internal shift, okay? You've been in the cocoon energy, right? Maybe you've been more of like, a hermit energy, where you've been kind of in your own space and navigating and moving through, your current reality and moving through your energy and kind of what has been showing up for you on your path. Many of you have been facing your shadow, or you've been facing the shadow of others, right? And through that, you have discovered an important truth, okay? Again, this could be identifying certain people that are supportive, certain people that are, I hate to say on your side, but that's kind of, people that resonate, people that will resonate with you in the next level of your journey. Those that were kind of, shady or shifty or sabotaging or selfish, it feels like you're going to be releasing quite a bit of those energies or those connections or those situations before you have this level up here. It feels like, too, with the temperance energy, you have a lot of spiritual support and guides and angels with you as you're balancing through the changes that you are making. There's that beautiful rainbow energy, which represents that divine protection and blessings and hints at the 10 of Cups, right? Which is our greatest fulfillment energy here. We also have the Wheel of Fortune, which is saying that much is shifting and changing in your favor. And then we have, the beautiful Star, which is about wish fulfillment, alignment. It's also about releasing, right? And what are we releasing is the Seven of Swords, the deception, the illusions. And for many of us too, like some of the inauthentic parts of ourselves that we were showing the world, we're releasing that too. Things that were keeping us small, we're releasing. Social masks, we're releasing here with that Star energy, right? I'm seeing like almost if you were like cloaking your light, you're taking that cloak off, releasing it and showing your light to the world, whether that's through your projects, whether that's through, your creativity, just your presence, even your energy. There's like no holding back in your frequency is what I'm hearing. Okay. And I'm hearing breaking up with sabotaging patterns. Okay. That's coming through with the Death card and the shadow side, which is the devil energy. And that can often be things that hold us back or keep us out of balance, or, our fears, certain things like that. So there's a great transformation, and kind of on the other side of this shift or this change, because this does take a lot of bravery. And throughout, these changes and shifts with the Temperance and the Wheel of the Year, there's that call to have compassion and patience, and continue to kind of rebalance, okay, your experience, come back to your center. Kind of express what you need to express, right? But do it in a way that helps you to regulate yourself, okay? Then you have the beautiful Ace of Wands, you have the Fool energy, and you have the 10 of Pentacles. So clearly there is a change when it comes to the pace, okay, of your experience. The energy with the Fool energy is new beginnings. The Ace of Wands is passionate and exciting. Many of you are claiming your higher timeline. You're claiming your blessings. You're claiming things that now you can see very clearly, right? And then with the Ten of Pentacles, that's for your future. That's for your family. That's for your long-term stability, okay? Underneath that Ten of Pentacles, we have the Four of Wands. There's that doorway energy. There's the portal energy. So it is like a higher frequency portal that you are kind of going to be aligning with here, a higher timeline. With the Four of Wands, it's like there is a great deal of creation through joy, through expression, through freedom, through collaborative partnership, through healthy relationships and connections. Four of Wands represents marriage. It represents relationships. It represents foundation and stability. Some of you, it's like if you've been calling in a partner, it's like because these two are on a swing on a tree, it's like your ancestors have helped to align you with the right partner, the right opportunities. Of course, always use your discernment here. So some of you, that's what you're manifesting in. You're calling into your experience. I'm hearing there's on this next timeline, because you have worked through a lot of illusions and you've worked through a lot of fears and you've worked through a lot of deception, and there's so much clarity on this other timeline. It's like there is far less manipulation, right, compared to what you experienced on the previous timeline, or maybe even what you're somewhat moving through. Some of you might already be on this higher timeline, right? Some of you might still be working through in that cocoon energy, doing some of that shadow work, releasing, aligning your energy with this next level. Your perspective of others, are definitely shifting and changing. I say this and I share this all the time. Of course, always trust your instincts and your intuition, but also sit back and observe people and just allow them to reveal themselves to you, right? Because that's something else that is coming through here. But you're discovering your truth. For some of you, it's a new truth that you are discovering, and you're going to be having this exciting new beginning. And even if you do feel like you're moving through some of the muck and you're moving through some of this really uncomfortable, crunchy energy, right? It's for a reason. It's for a reason so that you kind of have this breakthrough to this higher timeline where the energy is clear, where the intentions are known, where honestly it feels like you feel more grounded, you feel more energized, you feel your heart space feels lighter, you feel like you're more at home. So some of you, this might involve some sort of move or relocation. This might involve some sort of breakup or separation. It might involve meeting someone new. There's many messages that are coming through here. And we have the animal shaman, the magician, and we have the window energy. So the window energy to me represents, again, our perception. Okay? And I do feel like things are shifting and changing for us as we shift and change and align our energies within. The magician energy, there's so many messages under, within that, but the magician can also be the illusionist, right? So some of you might have been dealing with some sort of trickster energy in your experience, or it's that you're harnessing your own magician energy to see through what you need to see through. Okay, I'll show you. There's the magician with the fire element, which has to do with transmutation, right? Many of you might have been hearing from like other readers or even astrologists, or just in general, like the Phoenix energy. It feels like for many of you, like you're coming to the Phoenix energy has helped you make this like change, but then you're coming to this new beginning, okay? This new frequency, this new timeline. So you're also embracing your gifts more, you're believing in them more. You know what your magic is, okay? Many of you, the animal shaman, you're very connected in with nature and spirit. And you could be spiritual leaders here as well. This doesn't quite feel like a dark night of the soul, but this was definitely challenging what you were shifting and moving through. But it's beautiful change, and I feel like for many of you it's quite close. So just remember to continue to release the energies, the habits that do not serve you, and to embrace the new ones that do. Create space for the new. Yeah. I feel like this other timeline, this lower timeline that you're shifting out of, it was very draining. There were many energies that were draining you or deceiving you. There may have been a lack of boundaries. And I'm hearing you might have even been the star in someone else's life, helping their dreams come true. Right? But they were deceptive. They weren't honest in their intentions. So you've been navigating through quite a bit. And I think it's so important that you have compassion for yourself and that you are giving yourself the credit, right? Because I feel like somebody just like released themselves from something that was very confusing and complicated and complex. What else is important to know here? King of Swords. Yep. Beautiful. Seeing things clearly, making a logical decision. Okay. This is logic over emotion. But also I feel like your intuition lets you know also and helps you make decisions here. So your logic and your intuition, or your I want to say like your gut reaction are on board. Tell me more about this energy. Clarity, truth, new beginnings are here. Crystal clear clarity or truth, especially for those of you that were trying to figure out, like, you're trying to choose a direction, or you're trying to make a decision about, it could have been a breakup, it could have been some sort of shift or change in your experience, something that was holding you back, something that was siphoning your energy, something that was taking your time. And there's a karmic cycle completing. That's the Judgment card. So it could be some sort of judgment decision you had to make. It's like either it's going to be revealed to you, it's going to become very clear, or it's going to be important that you shift and change and align your energy and release these old energies so that you do have that clarity, so that you're expressing yourself in ways that are helpful for you, right? And not holding on or like holding back your emotions or your truth. Because I feel like for some of you, you buried this truth within you for a while. May have been to try and keep the peace, may have been, for whatever reason, but now it feels like you're breaking free from, whatever was holding you back, whether it was your own limitations or just, people, places, situations you've outgrown. And look at the celebration with the karma, right? A cycle complete, a very clear ending, and a very clear new beginning. With Strength card. We have the devil energy. The card that beats the devil energy is the Strength card. This is also saying like you have all the love and strength and support around you right now. And to really honor that courage. The courage that it takes to kind of free yourself from these illusions and to pursue your passions and to not stay stuck. I mean, there was a purpose with the cocoon energy, right? Are you ready to kind of bust out of that cocoon in a new frequency? Justice card, yeah? Beautiful. Balance, beauty, alignment. We have 2 cards of karma here as well, so that's being sorted in your favor. 10 of Cups. Now you have your higher timeline. 10 of Cups, 10 of Pentacles. Okay? You'll feel like your power, your energy, your magic, your vitality is returning to you when you kind of release these things that were draining you or keeping you stuck in a toxic cycle or pattern. You're breaking free. That's something to really celebrate. So congratulations. That took a lot of courage. Hope this brought you value. Receive what aligns, release what doesn't. Take the best care of yourself, and I will see you soon.